I dressed up as Dr. Dre. Just in honor.
Yes, good to know.
That is a fantastic show, by the way. I highly recommend it.
It is really, really good, and I don't even like any of those music genres, but it's really interesting how the whole thing came together. All right, so what's going on at Comic-Con?
Today is all about TV. We have the big Game of Thrones panel, which should be fun because usually the Game of Thrones is usually over by the time Comic-Con starts. The season's usually over. So this time the season just started, so we'll get some spoilers, maybe some new footage, things like that. I don't think Ed Sheeran will be here, but maybe. But I think a lot of fans wanted to kill him after the last episode, so probably will not
guy.
be here. Yeah, poor Ed Sheeran. With his millions of dollars and all the women. And let's see, what else today? Big Bang Theory is doing a panel. We've got what else?
Who just didn't somebody announce that they were boycotting Comic-Con?
Did somebody say they were boycotting Comic-Con?
Maybe not. Maybe I said I was boycotting Comic-Con.
The Walking Dead is doing a panel today. They canceled a lot of their press appearances in the wake of the stuntman who just died, but they're still doing their panel. And then yesterday things kind of kicked off with 20th Century Fox they were the first movie panel, but instead of bringing Deadpool or X-Men or some of the stuff most people wanted to see, they did an hour-long panel on Kingsman: The Secret Service, the sequel to that, which is a fine movie and it's based on comics, but I don't think that was really the thing that most of the crowd was expecting. Although Halle Berry was on the panel, and there's this whole thing in the movie about whiskey, and so they passed around a bottle of whiskey, and everybody, Jeff Bridges and everybody was taking shots. Somebody poured Halle Berry a half a pint glass full of whiskey, and she downed the whole thing on stage.
What?
It was pretty incredible, I gotta say. I mean, she was sexy before, but
But
the fact
now,
that she
Yeah,
drank,
I would double check. Was it whiskey or was it iced tea?
yeah.
you know what? That's what everybody's wondering. She looked drunk for the rest of the panel. I mean, she really did. And it was impressive. So,
All right.
I don't know what was in the bottle. We have to investigate.
All right, movies coming out this week. What do we got?
A lot of good ones, actually. Dunkirk is our first real Oscar-caliber movie of the year. This is Christopher Nolan's World War II drama. It stars Mark Rylance, Kenneth Branagh, Tom Hardy, and One Direction's Harry Styles in his acting debut.
Oh, nice.
It's about an operation in World War II where you had soldiers from British soldiers, Belgian, Canadian, and French soldiers. They're all surrounded by the Germans in Dunkirk, and they had to get out of that. It's just supposed to be fantastic, getting great reviews. Also, Girls Trip is a comedy about four lifelong friends who kind of rediscover their wild side on a trip to New Orleans. That's also supposed to be very good, an R-rated comedy there. And then Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets, which is comic book based, that had its premiere. We saw some footage of that last year at Comic-Con. Visually looks stunning, but I don't know if it's going to do too well at the box office.
All right, there you go. Have you seen what's the weirdest costume you've seen at Comic-Con?
I saw a grown man dressed up as 11 from Stranger Things, so basically an 11-year-old girl in a full, like a little pink dress and a blonde wig and sneakers, and he was carrying a big box of Eggo waffles.
Yeah, there's some weird. How many people are there?
I think it's 125,000 a day go to the convention center and around the grounds.
And this is the big one, right?
This is the big one. And then there's thousands of more surrounding. There's all this stuff going on around the convention center if you can't get in. There was a full Scottish kilt band yesterday with they were shirtless and wearing kilts and dancing around. It's just crazy.
How many years has this been going on?
Over 40. I think this is the 41st year. It started in the late 70s, and Star Wars was one of the first things that actually came here and did a little promotion. But it was all comic books back then, and now it's become pop culture. Anything and everything in pop culture, because it's just a good place to promote. You have so many fans and diehard fans of all kinds of genres. So we have Netflix yesterday do its first panel for its first big movie, which is Bright, starring Will Smith. That's its first foray into the action genre. And we'll have more Netflix stuff, too. We'll have Stranger Things also doing a panel. And then the big movie panels come tomorrow with Warner Brothers, and we'll have Justice League, and Marvel in the afternoon will be doing Avengers.
And I suspect those those meetings, those tables, whatever, it's packed to the gills, right? I mean, those are special tickets to get in.
Oh yeah, thousands of people. They're waiting in line. People were waiting last night already in line for Saturday's panel. And they've changed things around so you don't necessarily have to camp overnight. Now you can get tickets, but people camp overnight just because they like it, because there's a camaraderie out there. And sometimes the actors go out and bring the fans pizza and things like that. So it's a lot of fun.
All right, Jason Nathanson, get back to work at Comic-Con, live from Comic-Con. Jason Nathanson. Jason, have a good weekend.
All right, take care.
You got it. 8:20.